All right, so on today's agenda, we're gonna do some tops. So I gotta size these up, plane them down, and book match. So we have ready tops to use for future builds. I have a lot of really, really old birch. Some of it's flamed, some of it's not. And we'll see what we find. Should be a lot of fun. So first things first, let's kind of size everything up a little bit. So first and foremost, my basic body length is about 500 mil. Now I want to get rid of all this cracking on the end. So to avoid that, we cut that off. Remove that. We should still have plenty to use. Ah, not quite. Okay. Well, we'll split this down the middle. I can get around that pretty easy. So we'll have to cut it down from here. And then cut 500. So get myself a square. Leave a little bit of extra because we got excess. So perhaps doing something like here would be good. This we're gonna plane down, but there's a lot of it's pretty concave at points. I don't expect this to be anything. I don't expect this to be looking that great, but it could be fun to do some more river type guitars. So we'll see what we come up with. Got plenty to work with. This is not gonna be wide enough for a top. Just a little short. But we'll plane it up. We'll see what we get out of it. It's a bit shorter report too, so not going to be too fussed about that. This, I can see that there's a lot of nice figuring. There are some cracks in the end there. So we could avoid that by chopping that down. But we could also make these a bit bigger pieces. So there's more area to kind of choose from when showing the planks to customers. This one seems alright. Little cracks over there. So once again, got plenty to work with. We can just easily chop off a little bit. If I can, I'll keep them oversized. Just if I need to make something that has a bit bigger of a body. Now, this has quite a big crack here, so if we can avoid that, we will take that down to about there. This, on the other hand, doesn't look too bad. There's a knot in the middle, but that's unavoidable. Some cracks on that end, none on the other. So we could essentially, we'll take that down to there. See what we get up to. See the crack going all the way here, so I'll take it just a bit back. There. Sweet. It's a matter of just planing everything nice and flat. All of these boards are pretty warped, so there's a good bit of work to do, but we'll get there. that is not cool at all. Let's see. Gonna need a whole lot finer adjustment than that. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, but we'll get through it. Oh man, it's really not the greatest. But we'll get it close, and we'll see if we can fix some of the issues with thicknessing them. Also got a good bit of cross grain, so that might be affecting it ever so slightly. This most certainly is not the prettiest board in the world, but it'll make something of it. I decided to not cut down some of the boards just yet until we can actually get a good glimpse of what they look like underneath. I think I'm going to time-lapse me doing the rest, and come back in a bit. Alright, so now it's time to thickness everything down. I'm going to start with 30 mil. Let's see how we get on. I've just done a rough surface plane on everything, and we'll see if this manages to iron out some kinks, so to speak. At first it might not take away all that much, if anything at all, but easy does it, because these are pretty warped. At least some of them are. Ever so slightly. We're getting there. So we're going to do 27 then. Start. Now the main idea here is just to get everything flat on both sides before moving on to the next stage. Then we'll see how much we're left with in the end to work with. When it comes time to actually resaw everything. Now this one was a piece that I had purchased myself from my wood supplier. He had put it out on display just for me. Tried to tempt me into buying it, and I gotta say, it did work. There we go. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's gonna be gorgeous. It's taking me back to the days where one of my jobs used to be wood processing. Usually, the most fun I had was older boards like this that I could sit in the shed or bottom of the woods. But sometimes they ended up with treasures like this. This just deserves a little bit of cleanup, but that is that's ridiculously gorgeous. Wow. And I have a whole board of that. I have so many boards of that sitting in a garage in a pile for years and years. So now, before bandsawing everything, we need to get a nice square edge. So to do that, I'm gonna line up planed off back here. We have a joint. And once again, it's dripping quite badly, which is a problem I deal with. So I might have to go back and use a shooting board to actually get a good finish for the joint there. But I usually do both sides. Just because it kind of gives me a lot more to choose from. Time for the main event, which is resawing and bookmatching. Now, what bookmatching is basically when you have a cut piece, let's say for instance that this now would be one piece of wood. Bookmatch is when you open it up like a book and you have the exact same or the mirror of the grain pattern. And that is what we're attempting to do with all these tops today. In order to do that, we need to resaw these. What I mean by that is saw them straight down the middle. These are roughly 21 mil. So I'm gonna do 10. Just score down the middle here, all the way down, so we have a line to follow. Now, I'm going to try with this piece, because it's not that pretty. I'm going to see if the fence on this is good. If it's not, then we're going to have to go manually do this. Always a little so-and-so. We'll also see if the blade wanders at all as we do this. So, here we go. We've planed down the face and we've planed down the side. So now we have a square edge here, which rests up against the fence, like so. And in theory, that should be enough to make it work. The main idea here is to go very slowly. That in a little bit. That's the first check. Seems to be cutting roughly in the middle. I went back a little bit too much. Pushing too hard. Might start to wander. Follow the drain. Just try not to push too hard. Let the blade kind of do all the cutting for you. Checking how it's going. So on the other side, it's not too bad. It's better than another workshop that I used to do this at. The benefit of having a very wide blade would be great. The wider the blade, the easier it is for you to do the surfing. Now with my backhand here, I am basically just supporting and making sure that I'm always connected to the fence. I'm not pulling, I'm just making sure that I'm staying on track. Keep on going. 7 more boards to do after this. Push sticks of every sort are always good to have. Any workshop. Protect your hands. Make sure you don't accidentally hurt yourself. As we're coming towards the end, you want to keep that slow pace. I know you want to kind of rush because you're getting to the end of it. Just take your time. Let's have a look at what that did and what that looks like. There we go. Perfect bookmatch. Or my perfect bookmatch. That's not too bad, actually. I thought it would have looked a lot worse. But, yeah. Nice, plain top. Cool. Let us do the rest. Also a good thing to do if you're working with multiple boards at a time at this point is to mark everything out per pair. So D is the one plank that these are cut out of, the first cut, so D1, these are book matched together, D2, these are book matched together. All right, on to one of my favorite tools. Now we have everything nicely book matched, but they still have bandsaw marks. So we're gonna feed them through the drum sander and get them looking nice. So raise that up. There we go. And here we go. Now bring that down slowly until it starts to take off some material. There we go. So we're gonna have it here, and then quarter turns at a time, basically, is what we're aiming for. Process of feeding everything through, but we'll get there. It's going to take a while up until I get to something that looks somewhat decent, but it's all worth it. This is pretty cool too. These cleaner looking tops from the one plank, or plank I should say, they're not too bad. This one as well, this could be pretty interesting. And that's how you get a book matched on. That's gonna look so cool. All right, time to clean up.